in a quiet golden forest, where the trees grew tall and the paths wound gently between ancient roots. There lived a young fox named Flynn. Flynn was bright. He was quick. He had sharp eyes and a sharper mind. The other animals liked him. He was fun to be around, easy to talk to, and always had something interesting to say. But Flynn carried a habit that followed him everywhere, quiet as a shadow. He lied, not always about big things, sometimes about small things. Where he had been, why he was late, whose berries those were. The lies came easily, naturally, almost without thinking. And because Flynn was clever, his lies always sounded true. The older animals noticed, but no one said much. It was easier to let small things go. Only the wise old owl watched with patient, worried eyes from her oak tree at the edge of the clearing. One soft morning she called down to him. "Flynn," she said gently, "a lie may feel fast, but truth always travels further." Flynn looked up, smiled his easy smile, and trotted on. "I am fine," he called back cheerfully. That was also a lie. One warm afternoon, everything began. Flynn was walking the long path near the river when he spotted it. A beehive, fat, golden, and heavy with honey, hanging low from a thick branch just above the ground. His mouth watered immediately. He stood still for a moment, watching it. Then he noticed a small hedgehog sitting quietly nearby, round and patient, clearly waiting for the right moment to approach. Flynn's mind moved fast. It always did. "You know," said Flynn, strolling over with his most relaxed expression. "The elder bear was just asking about that hive this morning. He needs the honey for the gathering tonight. He actually sent me to collect it." The hedgehog looked up slowly. Her eyes were careful. "I did not hear about any gathering," she said quietly. Flynn shrugged lightly. "It was decided this morning." Very last minute, the hedgehog looked at the hive for a long moment. Then she stepped aside without a word and walked away through the grass. Flynn watched her go. Then he took the honey, carried it deep into the woods, and ate every last golden drop alone. It was warm and sweet and perfect. He licked his paws clean and felt very pleased with himself. He did not think about the hedgehog walking home with nothing. Days passed. Then one evening, the elder bear called all the animals to the great clearing. Flynn arrived late, as usual, and found the circle already formed. The elder bear stood at the center, calm and still. There had been no gathering. There had been no request for honey. The hedgehog had mentioned it quietly, without anger, simply as a fact. And when the bear asked, other small memories surfaced. A borrowed tool not returned. A story that changed each time it was told. A direction given that led nowhere. None of it was shouted. None of it was cruel. The animals simply looked at Flynn, and then, one by one, they looked away. Backs turned. Conversations closed. The circle stayed whole, but Flynn was somehow outside it. He stood in the middle of the clearing, surrounded by silence, and understood for the first time that something had broken. Not loudly, not dramatically, just cleanly, the way a branch breaks under too much quiet weight. He went home alone that night. He told himself it did not matter. That was the last lie he told himself for a long time. Winter arrived early, sharp and sudden. One morning Flynn went to the river and found it frozen solid overnight, the ice thin and pale and dangerous. He pressed one careful paw to the surface and felt it shift beneath him. He knew what that meant. He turned and ran back toward the warmth of the main clearing, calling out as he went, "The river crossing is frozen. The ice is too thin. Do not use it today." He said it clearly. He said it honestly. He meant every word. The animals heard him. They looked at him standing there breathing hard in the cold morning air. Then they looked at each other. A young deer stepped past him toward the river path anyway. An older rabbit turned back toward her den without comment. A family of birds shifted on their branch and said nothing. Flynn stood very still and watched them go. The truth had been in his mouth. real and plain and urgent, and no one had taken it. He had spent so long making his words sound true that now, when they finally were, no one could tell the difference. The young deer reached the river, placed one hoof on the ice, felt it crack beneath her, and stepped back quickly. She found a safer crossing further down and made it home without harm. Flynn had watched it all from the bank, unable to do anything more than he had already done. He sat at the river's edge for a long time after the others had gone. The ice was silent. The forest was silent. He was silent too. That night he made a decision. The next morning he went to the hedgehog first. He did not make it a speech. He did not dress it up. He simply said, "The honey was yours. I lied to take it. I am sorry." The hedgehog looked at him for a long moment. Then she nodded once, slowly, and went back to her mourning. It was not forgiveness. Not yet, but it was something. He went to the elder bear next. Standing before him felt enormous. Flynn was not small by nature, but something about honesty made him feel very small in the best possible way. "I have been lying," he said quietly, "for a long time. To many animals. I want to stop." The elder bear studied him with calm, deep eyes. Then he said simply, "Saying that is the hardest thing you have ever done." Flynn thought about it. He nodded. It was. He did not change overnight. Change never works that way. But he began. One small true thing at a time. He returned what he had borrowed. He said he did not know when he did not know. He stayed quiet instead of inventing. It felt strange at first, like walking a path with no shortcuts, slower, more exposed, but also lighter than he had expected. Spring came, as it always does. The ice melted. The paths opened. The forest filled again with warmth and sound. And slowly, the way light returns after a long winter, the other animals began to include him again. Not all at once, not with grand gestures, just quietly. A nod here, a conversation there, a place beside them on a warm sunny log. Flynn sat in the clearing one soft spring morning and listened to the forest around him. It sounded the same as it always had, but it felt completely different because this time he was actually in it. He thought about what they all had said those months ago on that warm, ordinary morning. A lie may feel fast, but truth always travels further. He finally understood what she meant.